Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. Lisa, Scott, Dillon, sporting his jersey today. What did you say right before? We need to talk about the Wild?
Yeah, we talked about the Timberwolves, which I did stay up and watch the game. But, shouldn't have even talked about that this morning. Should have just moved on because now it's time for the next disappointment. The Wild.
I think the Wild have a better chance, though.
Probably. I think they do, too. The Wild have good depth. They proved they could win without Kaprizov, and they have two good goaltenders. It's just the Stars. And we all know we don't like the Stars as Wild fans.
We don't like the Stars.
Stars are...
Hopefully we can upset them. I think they're...
So.
Game tonight in Dallas.
Yep.
8:30. So.
All right, we'll get to sports news in a minute. I didn't really mean to do that, but that's all right. Remember, you can catch this anytime on your Facebook feed throughout the day after we go live in the morning. Also on our InForum YouTube channel, and we make this into a podcast. So go to inforum.com/podcast and look for the InForum Minute, and you can listen to this every weekday morning. Mm-hmm. All right, big story today, of course, watching those river levels.
Yeah, of course, continuously rising for the Reddas at least, but a lot of other rivers in the area, or the tributaries, I should say, they kind of crest this weekend, including Dilworth had a crest this weekend, excuse me. Hawley, Sabin, and then there were, of course, most tributaries had a crest. So it's on the downhill from here on out. A couple that didn't. Crookston is expected to crest today, as well as the Forest River at Minto, I believe, from the stuff I looked at. Otherwise, of course, all that flows into the Red, and the Red is currently in minor flood stage in Fargo. Grand Forks, no flood stage. It's slowly rising. Of course, the river flows south to north, so it has a little bit to get up to Grand Forks yet, but it's expected to be close to moderate flood stage Grand Forks is by next week. So, did watch it, but nothing really overly concerning for either Fargo or Grand Forks. Of course, Fargo is pretty well protected until 36, 37 feet. Currently, the forecast is to hit about 31 feet sometime later this week, and then Grand Forks, they're really well protected, probably up to about 50 feet, pretty close to that, and they're only, right now the forecast is just about to 40, so no big concerns right now, of course, but we do have overland flooding to worry about. Overland flooding, it's always bad, no matter what.
It kind of pops up, you don't always know where it's,
Exactly, so, but a day like today should help it out a little bit. Well, of course, we'll be melting more snow, but a lot of the snow is already melted, so it's just drying it up now, and
I was going to say, and Dillon has all of the numbers, I'm not sure how you remember all of them, but you can use your free WDAY StormTracker weather app. Right there on the top, you have river levels and forecasts, so it's very easy to find, and then also the flood warnings, anything that's been updated, that's with the red alert right on the top. And Inforum.com as well has a great tab with all of the flood coverage that we have here as well. It's great. It's a great tool, whether it's where you live or you're like, hey, what's going on? How close are they to see anything in Grand Forks?
Unfortunately, I don't get this much time to go through all of these river gauges. As you can see, there's all of them.
But that's why it's such a great tool, right?
Yes,
oh my goodness,
exactly. There's a lot. I only could do maybe 5 in the morning if I'm lucky. So that's why, there's other resources out there to go grab all the info.
Okay, can we talk about how nice it's going to be today?
Yeah, middle 40s, sunny skies, a little bit of a breeze, but not as windy as yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday
it was rough.
Very windy.
Yeah, it was really windy yesterday. So not as bad as yesterday. The wind department, warmer temperatures too, so it'll be a nice day. And then tomorrow will be windy though, out of the southeast, but warm up to about 50, so that'll be nice.
And then...
Well, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay, let's stop. Let's stop at Tuesday.
We are watching a chance of rain and snow midweek. It's not really a Clipper system, which are usually our lighter systems, and it's not really a Colorado low, which is what our stronger systems we usually get. It's kind of in between, so it's a tricky one to forecast, but we'll continue to keep you updated. Probably just a little bit of rain, probably a little bit of snow. Not expecting a huge storm, but it's not going to be the beautiful weather you're going to get today.
All right, sounds good. So enjoy today.
Yes.
We'll track the rest of the week.
You're going to come back for sports? We'll give you a couple minutes. Then
Should I come back for sports?
Come back for sports.
If you want.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
We'll holler at you.
Okay.
You can give a better breakdown than I can.
All right. Let's go talk about more flooding, closures, those types of things. Today, Moorhead will begin taking flood protection steps. A few roads in the city closing starting this morning. About 15 minutes ago, actually, 3rd Street from 2nd Avenue South to 4th Street North shut down. Starting tomorrow at 8 o'clock, the 15th Avenue North Bridge will be closing. There's also several closures happening in Cass County, several county highways, 1, 3, 32. Those are all closed right now because of flooding. And then I-94 actually having some issues too. A couple spots with lane closures between Castleton and Buffalo due to the flooding. Also one exit ramp that's closed because there's water over the road there.
And we're trying to keep up, but there's always updates.
Yeah.
We do know right now, US 81 from Manville to Minto is now closed. That's about an 18-mile stretch, so a pretty big chunk of road there. The Department of Transportation says the road's not safe to travel on right now. North of there, however, from Minto to Grafton, the road has reopened. So, like I said, we're trying to keep you updated as much as we can.
Yeah, and those flooded roads, they're being blamed for a fatal crash in Rolette County. State troopers say that a 54-year-old woman from Candu was driving along Highway 66 near Milo, North Dakota. Roads were covered in water after a bunch of snow had melted there. Troopers say the wet, melted snow, water on the road caused the woman to lose control. Car rolled into a ditch, landed on its roof. She died at the scene of the accident. We are still working to find out her name this morning, but authorities across the region are taking this as a reminder to tell everybody, do not try to drive on those flooded roads. If there's water over them, they can be very dangerous, even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And as we're trying to keep up with all of the changes every day, today, Cass County, Fargo, and West Fargo city leaders are all going to be meeting again, kind of updating each other, coming up with new plans on the daily. They're discussing their flood mitigation efforts. The meeting today is going to be at 12:15 at Fargo City Hall, I believe, looking at the latest numbers and where they're at right now. So we'll have somebody tracking that story for you, and we'll have updates for you on our evening newscasts.
All right, switching gears from flooding, sad story over the weekend, but this morning a GoFundMe page for the family of a sheriff's deputy that was killed in Pope County, Minnesota over the weekend. They're now closing in on a $6,000 goal, raising money, of course, for the family. They've raised more than $5,000 so far. Donations will be helped to support Joshua Owens' family. He was killed over the weekend after a domestic violence call turned into a shootout. This happened in Cyrus, Minnesota. Owens, 2 deputies, and a police officer responded to the call at an apartment. When they got there, they told the man inside the building he was going to be arrested. BCA investigators say the man started shooting at the officers almost immediately. The suspect and all 3 officers, they were all hit by gunfire. Deputy Josh Owen taken to the hospital. He died there of his injuries. The BCA says that case is still under investigation.
Some road closures today we want to give you a heads up about. Before that, though, how about some closures just even around a summertime favorite? We want to talk about the Island Park pool renovation project. That's getting underway today. That's a big one a lot of people are excited about. Marking the start of construction, the path area around the pool and the northwest parking lot, that's Island Park in downtown Fargo, will be closed, at least for the time being. Island Park itself, if that's one of your favorites, it's a beautiful park, that is going to remain open during construction. The project is set to be finished in the fall of 2024, open in 2025. But today you're going to start seeing some action over in that area. So
Going to be a little messy before
Yeah.
it becomes that nice renovation. So.
I agree.
All right, national story today. Another shooting to tell you about, unfortunately. Hundreds of people gathered for a prayer vigil for victims of a mass shooting that happened in Alabama over the weekend. A gunman killed 4 people, injured 28 others during a Sweet 16 birthday party. Among the 4 dead was a high school football star that was set to play at Jacksonville State this fall. Some of the 28 people injured still in critical condition this morning. So far, there's no word on who was the gunman or who was responsible. And there is still no motive that's been found out for the shooting either.
Okay, tomorrow is tax day. Normally it would be on April 15th, but since that day fell on the weekend and today is the Emancipation Day in Washington, D.C., you have an extra couple of days, but of course, the countdown is on. The IRS expects 73,000 they expect millions of people, of course, to file their taxes. If you make less than $73,000 a year, you can file for free at irs.gov for free, so you can check that out. You can find more information on whether or not you need an extension. I want to remind you, too, we're talking federal taxes, but also North Dakota and Minnesota state taxes also due tomorrow. So
That's right. All right, Dillon, get back in here.
All right.
Dom's going to be having hot mic this morning,
Yeah.
of course, every day. 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. You can guarantee one of the big topics is going to be the Wolves failing last night.
Yeah, but Dom isn't a huge basketball fan. He'll probably scoff at it, go to the next thing, probably talk about the NFL draft again. But also the Wild.
Yeah.
They played tonight too, which is a big game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they play the Stars 8:30. See how it goes. Should be a good matchup. I mean, at least we're not playing the Bruins. They think the Bruins are the wrong conference, so
Yeah.
we'll play them until the finals. But
People around here, of course, love their hockey. The Wild, they're pretty good. They're not the number 1 seed, of course, but
Yep.
they're good enough to win.
3 seed. They're in the contention for the 1 seed in the Central for pretty much almost the second half of the season, and then they just choked it, and then now they're the 3 seed because the Avalanche, of course, are ahead of them, and so are the Stars. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Should be a good series. Excited about it. Not excited to get no sleep again.
I was gonna say, if Dillon's
All the games
seems
are
a little
late.
tired
I
tomorrow.
know. Yeah, the NBA and NHL.
It's really cramping your style.
It
It's
really
not
is.
working.
The game last night didn't start until almost 10 o'clock. Are you kidding me, NBA?
Yeah, they like to have late games.
Yeah, and the NHL is the same thing. So
Even if you don't get up in the middle of the night like us, that's still late.
yeah, it is. Yes, exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, and also, both the Timberwolves and the Wild will both be playing home on Friday night at the same time in Minneapolis or St. Paul.
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense. It's just frustrating. It is what it is, but I don't understand the top gurus at NBA and NHL. They just hate Minnesota, so.
Oh, that's probably true.
They probably do, you know.
Actually, like, well,
LA or Minnesota? LA.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But, okay, we're going to continue to root for the Wolves, even though they're big underdogs. And
Yep.
then now we're
Their
going to
next game, you know what the next game is?
the Wolves Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday, yep.
And then back
Wild.
to Minneapolis on
Yep.
Friday.
You're right.
I heard that on the news this morning.
Wow. You know what the next Wild game is after tonight?
Oh, after tonight, no.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
They play the same night for like next 3
Big
games.
Minnesota Sports
Anyways.
Week.
Big Minnesota Sports Week. And the Twins,
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, yeah. By
they
the way,
split their series at Yankee Stadium this weekend, which the first 2 games, I mean, the first inning of the first game, they scored 9 runs. Insane. And then the last 2 games were not the best, but that's okay. We got just wiped clean by Garrett Cole, but it'll happen. That'll happen.
I have
So
them on my fantasy baseball team, so it did me well.
that's good. That's good. Yeah. And the draft for the Vikings is next week, right? It is.
Coming up.
It's next week. No, it's next week.
Well,
End of
last
next week,
we
right?
said it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, last two.
Yeah, it's end of next week. Last weekend of April. That's next
Yeah.
week. End of next week. All right, big sports.
All right, good
All right,
stuff,
Tiller.
good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, Dom Izzo with Hot. I mean, you had
Yeah.
Hot Mic with Dillon Vogt there, but Hot Mic with Dom Izzo on from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and InForum.com. And remember, you can get a great deal right now on that InForum.com subscription, 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. So check that out.
And then we got you covered on air, of course, the rest of the day, starting again at 11 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And we'll be back for first news tomorrow morning from 5 to 7 a.m.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye. There it is.